low 44, I think. And InNoRush, I think, has a 51.
I believe it was, and I think when he did that 44, that was about a 7-hour PB for him.
Oh, right, yeah, right. For those of you who don't know, Sephi actually used to own the worst time on the entire leaderboard. He made huge steps forward after joining this tournament, going from the very worst time to one of the best times, actually, so a round of applause just for the massive improvement here.
Now, something that the people from the randomizer tournament might not recognize is the big blue sort of world that you're in here at the beginning.
Yeah.
Very monochrome, very, very blue, very sad, very depressing.
Yeah.
This is going to make for a very interesting change-up from the randomizer tournament. Obviously, that a lot can happen, a lot can change. This is going to be just a pure brute force sprint for both of these runners tonight.
Let's hope it is a sprint. There is a lot that can go wrong in Super Metroid, especially in any percent, where you like, especially at a level these guys are playing at, you pick up so few safeties. A little bit of drag on chain damage or bad riddling, or just a bad room can screw up everything.
Absolutely, and I do think it's safe to say that both of these runners are going to be taking the true route, the old route.
I have to heavily disagree here. Not that they are going to do old route, but obviously the best route is new route. That is objectively true. But the second best route will do, so that's okay. Oh, and InNoRush actually winning the Ceres Escape Battle with a mid 45.
Very nice.
And looks like we will have to disqualify Sephi from the match, as he is in chat right now. Too
Trying
bad.
to psych out the competition by wishing them
Yeah.
luck. That's just low.
That's unfair behavior, Sephi. You should be better than that.
And now Samus's problems really begin.
Yeah, now the actual game starts. So first minor difference you're gonna notice here right at the start, Sephi will be playing with Moonwalk on and will be using the Moonfall with appropriate fall speed, whereas InNoRush is kind of just gonna creep his way through these long vertical shafts. Just going a little bit slower, as you might see here. Getting a nice and cozy break. I don't know.
Yeah, Moonfall, one of those tricks that even though I personally don't really care for it, it's actually been amazing to watch just how far it's come. It was discovered, what was it, 2016? Does that sound right?
I want to say 2017. I don't think
17?
it's that old yet, but yeah, a while ago, definitely.
And it started out with just that first fall, well, the second fall that you saw there, Climb.
Yeah.
I think he also did a little bit of a Moonfall there in the beginning.
Yeah.
But they're coming up with so many different, and we're not going to talk about Moon Dance because that doesn't exist. But
No, that is something that we don't want to talk about here on Speed Gaming. We are a serious stream. But yeah, again, there are so many like very small moonfalls that have been implemented into the route that are really just frame savers at this point, but just going to show the creativity of implementing new tech in such an old game just to save a very few frames is really cool.
And it's even more interesting to me because one of the side effects, or I guess the main purpose of Moonfall is Moonwalk, which as you're holding shot down, rather than turning in the direction you face, you just walk backwards towards that direction. So for a lot of these runners that have been running for just so long, they've got all this muscle memory down. It's really hard to learn just to play with Moonwalk in general, even if you're not using Moonfall, because your boss fights, everything, you go to turn around and all of a sudden you don't. For somebody who is new to this game or has just started running it, it's definitely better to go ahead and learn with Moonwalk on, even if you don't plan on using Moonfall, because just in case you'll always have that skill.
Yeah, and besides Moonfall being a thing, like one of the things I noticed once I picked up Moonwalk is just like how many other things just Moonwalk itself is useful for. Like just aligning yourself with stuff, going for certain setups, or just being a little bit more precise on bosses. Like, obviously it hinders you at first, but just like it can be so insanely useful. Like Ridley can be a lot easier if Antinomy you use it correctly, which is really fun.
Yeah, especially in the randomizer where there's a lot of setups that, like you said, require you to be in very precise spots. All you have to do is back up against a wall rather than, you know, turning around in a morph ball and wasting a pixel or two. Both runners still nice and close at this point. Neither are able to get Bomb Chorizo skip off.
Spoilers. Sephi struggling a little bit with the Bomb Chorizo fight. And InNoRush getting completely destroyed by drops there. Not lucky at all.
Yeah, the idea is to not get hit at all, thus increasing the chances of his drops being missiles. But if he's only dropping one thing anyway...
Yeah, that's rough. He's done though. Kind of unfortunate, but he'll recover. Oh, and these missile spawns too, that's just unfortunate.
Still a super close race though, anything can happen at this point.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot of death and decay coming up for us.
Alcatraz here, you'll probably see almost every, if not every runner in this tournament use that trick. It's a super easy one, it's one of the first ones you learn. It is the last trick that I learned. I did mock ball, I did short charge, I did all that stuff before I figured out how to do Alcatraz.
Oh really? When did you learn Moondance then?
All the ones that matter.
Ah, alright, that's fair. Alright, Sephi now coming up. Oh yeah, that's fair. So yeah, Sephi coming up on the first major sequence break of the run, getting the super missiles here early with a mock ball, standard stuff. I think everyone has seen this by now a million times. Nice damage boost there.
Yeah, this is one of those tricks that I think people take for granted, because it's, once you learn how to do it, it's incredibly easy. But it allows you to completely skip Spore Spawn, which, even if you're not running the speed game, or even if you're not speed running this game, as much as I love Spore Spawn, I gotta say, it is a really boring, dumb boss fight. So it's nice to be able to skip that.
You only say that because you can't one-round him.
I can't even three-round him.
No, that's the beauty of the fight, though. Just enjoying all these hypnotic rounds.
I think part of it is that the music for his chamber scared me as a kid. That is some really creepy stuff.
That's fair. But yeah, a lot of minor optimizations you can see here. You saw Sephi there grabbing that missile without even touching it, just doing a very optimal wall jump check of the missile. Basically just turning your hitbox into the item as the game checks if you're like colliding with a wall and then collecting the item. Just really minor things like that that saves, let's say, fractions of seconds that you just implement over the time that just add up really quickly.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one because, like you said, whenever you face away from a wall in order to wall jump, the game gives you a little bit of a break where even if you're not quite to the wall yet, it still lets you turn around, which modifies that hitbox, and it's just little things like that, and there's 100 of them in this game that just a second or two each one makes all the difference.
InNoRush barely missing up and 2. Most important trick of the run, to be quite honest. And Sephi getting the suboptimal scree damage boost here. Skipping Spazer, a decision I can agree with in this round. Otherwise, I'm a big fan of Spazer, not gonna lie. I'm not sure what's your opinion on that matter. I know it's pretty critical.
It's a great beam. I'm not gonna lie. I used to hate on it, but as long as you recognize that Plasma is superior, then I will recognize the greatness of Spazer.
I think if we can agree that the Plasma Spazer combo is the most superior thing, we're good.
That's true.
Alright, cool. Sephi here with excellent health. Coming up on Crave, we'll be preparing for a 2 missile free super quick kill.
Yeah, so help me understand that. Am I to understand that if you hit him with a charge beam, he pauses his hand, but if you hit him with a missile, he doesn't, but it's a little easier to get it with missiles, is that right?
It's like you're basically just using the first missile to open his mouth for just a very short moment to get the first missile in. You can also do it just with one missile and 3 supers and use a pea shooter shot, but you cannot just do that quick enough. Like that would be way slower. So it's really just like the fact that you can shoot 2 consecutive missiles to deal the damage rather than like pea shooter shot, missile, and then the supers, which would be a lot harder to maneuver.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Because, yeah, you can fire them basically both almost at the same time,
yeah.
and one's just enough to get in.
Yeah, the cooldown rate for missiles is really, really low, which allows for stuff like doppering on Fantoon. Oh, InNoRush barely missing it, but he has a lot more ammo. He could go for a backup. Ah, he unfortunately misses it.
Getting trolled by the breath there.
Yeah. Has still a lot of ammo though, so as long as he doesn't miss any shots, he won't have to rely on like charge shots or anything.
And just narrowly missing the jump off the end of the platform there.
There you go. One more missile. Let's go. There you go. Nicely done. Sephi with a beautiful down back business center here. That is not an easy thing to do. That requires a lot of practice to get down consistently.
Yeah, the only place I can really do it is the Morphball room. Other than that, I get it wrong every time.
That's an interesting one to learn.
That block there in the high jump boots room is such a weird block because you have to hit both of them, and there's not an easy way to hit both of those bricks with the same shot.
Yeah. If you get both of them with the same shot and don't lose your momentum, that's called the ultimate. It's called that for a reason. It's not an easy thing to do. All right, and here we have first route deviation. We see InNoRush here picking up the crate E-tank. Probably the most important safety item in old route, I want to argue.
Yeah, it
makes a lot of things a lot easier.
It makes a lot of things a lot easier, and it's not far off of the route. It's really quick to just pop in that room and pop right back out. You don't have to take any significant detours to get it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like usually, like optimally, obviously you get free tanks. We're gonna most likely see Sephi go for free tanks here unless something goes horribly wrong with delay. Then there's 4 tanks, which usually you will see people take the crate E-tank just because it's more important, just because you have it longer and you get more value out of it. And if people go for 5 tanks, usually you see the E-tank as well. I think InNoRush... it's actually interesting because InNoRush used to not go for the crate E-tank in the past and just get the E-tank, but seeing this, I would guess he would go for a 5-tank setup just for race safety.
Yeah, you see that. I think Ridley and probably Dragon are the 2 rooms that you'll see that energy tank come into the most use. Fantoon obviously is everyone's worst enemy.
I personally really like the crate E-tank for the start of the Meridia area, because usually you'll find yourself with kind of low health exiting the wrecked ship. And then, considering Meridia is coming right up, you have the Spark in Mount Everest, you have Batoon coming up where you usually take 1 hit just for the optimal 1 round. Just that extra health is really handy, unless you want to visit the Slotus refill. In that case, oh well, I can't help you anymore.
And even with both suits, the creatures in Meridia tend to do a lot of damage that adds up really quickly.
Oh yes. That is an interesting double chamber jump setup there. Ah, and InNoRush barely making it out of Bubble Mountain there. Good shot.
Nice job shooting that.
Yeah.
Attack.
The waiver there.
Waiver
It's
there, yeah.
Yeah, that waiver is dead for sure. Also, nice little mini moonfall there by Sephi and Bubble Mountain. It's another one of these frame savers.
Yeah, I forget who it was that taught me that. I spent my whole life, well, as long as I've been running SM, which isn't that long, just jumping down Bubble Mountain and aiming. I didn't realize that it was exactly the end of that cliff at the top of Bubble Mountain aligns perfectly with the morph ball you could just drop right into.
Ah, did you like manually align every time?
I think so.
That's actually sick though. That's for swag points.
And InNoRush looking for some more supers here, while just refilling in general.
I assume Sephi will not go for Alpha Spark. Oh, actually, oh dang.
Oh, he's gonna try it.
Nope. Yeah. That is definitely reasonable with 2 tanks. Going for Alpha Spark, not really a thing you do with 2 tanks. And InNoRush showing why Double Chamber is objectively the worst room in the game.
Yeah, if you fall down in there, it takes a lot of psyching yourself back in to get back up on those platforms. Even though they're on a schedule, they really mess with your head.
Yeah, the thing with the schedule is like you cannot see them when you stand down there, but they are barely on the game screen that is still calculated. So like you don't see them, but they constantly move because they are technically on screen. And yeah. It just waiting there for a little bit, and they'll already be at a completely different position, and it's absolutely horrible.
And I think they're one of the few things in the game that actually does that, right? As far as moving off screen goes.
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, they are technically on screen. That's the thing.
Right.
These like you can see them, but they're still on screen. Like, it's kind of dumb. Alright, InNoRush. Just performing the Crocomire escape, good job. Shout out to Beef Robert for inventing that. In the meanwhile, Sephi, hopefully setting up for Ocean Fly here. I'd like to see that. Oh! Alright.
Narrow miss.
Yeah, not getting the gap skip there, having to abandon Ocean Fly.
That's one of the first tricks you kind of have to learn to do this game fast, is being able to bypass grapple beam.
Oh yeah.
To get through that ocean there. Now, New Route uses that newfangled CWJHBJ nonsense that's way too hard for me. So.
I'm glad you threw in a few extra letters there. made it sound a lot harder for sure. Alright, InNoRush also not going for Alpha Spark, taking it nice and cozy here. Gonna be going to his Alpha Palms first.
Arguably the biggest RNG session of the game here.
Alright, we have a fast. Opening him with an X Factor here. Oh!
Narrow miss.
Yeah. What is that? Is that 2 particles missing?
Yeah, there still are. Oh, he burned him in the flames. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like one of them was a flame lane, but I'm not sure. Yeah, getting immediately punished with a slow. Going back to Dopplers, Sephi's specialty. For those of you who don't know, Sephi is one of the few people who have actually performed a recorded 1-round Doppler kill.
Wow.
There you go. That round should do the job. No, not firing the super, and getting punished with another slow most likely. That's unfortunate. Giving InNoRush time to catch up though.
Yeah, depending on what kind of Fantoon InNoRush gets, this is definitely a little bit of catch up here for him.
Oh no, Anti-Enrage.
Oh, there we go. Surprise. So, for those that don't know, the reason you don't just waste super missiles on Fantoon, and the reason that always infuriated me as a kid, is because he does this if it doesn't kill you. Or if it doesn't kill him, that is. He's completely invulnerable during this, and he just sort of flings a bunch of fire at you.
Kind of a mitt here, as it looks like. But yeah, also shoutouts to Nintendo Power, suggesting to use super missiles on this boss.
Did they really?
Yeah, sure. They like in their magazine it says like, oh yeah, 5 supers will do the job. Just use them. Like, yeah, absolutely legit.
Technically, they're not wrong.
I mean they aren't. That's what Kona challenged us, so it has to be good. InNoRush with excellent sparks across the ocean here.
Yeah, I normally have to turn high jump boots off and just try to jump across that one.
That's fair. Saves a lot of energy. Also, you can just like minor things on InNoRush screen right now. Just rather than just walking off all these ledges, rather than he instead spin jumps off, which might seem counterintuitive, jumping off a ledge when you just want to go down, but spin jumping actually has a higher fall speed acceleration. So by jumping a little bit up, you will ultimately land sooner, which saves like a few frames every time you do it. But over the course of like these platform-heavy sections, it just adds up.
Plus, it's kind of fun to just slide your thumb right across the jump button.
Yeah. Sephi going for the optimal left side edit, but not quite there on the spark. Going for a backup here.
Oh, finishing it nicely.
And InNoRush setting up for the first X Factor. Hitting it nicely.
Nice.
Might be going for a 2-round here. Oh, fast. But not quite there.
So charging a single beam, if that's the only beam you have equipped, while you've also got power bombs equipped, does this thing that it sort of surrounds you with energy from that beam. Now each beam is a little bit of a different pattern. Wave beams is really nice because it focuses all the attacks on where Samus is, so you can use it like we saw InNoRush do to just quickly fire off all 4 particles right on Phantoon.
Yeah, InNoRush with beautiful 2-round X Factor kill. You're definitely getting a lot of time on Sephi here. But yeah, we have a lot of these. We have the X Factor, we have the Ice Shield, we have a Plasma Shield, and of course, not to forget the Spacer SBA, whose name shall not be named on Speed Gaming.
Kids channel.
Yeah, word on that.
You'll see the X Factor again on Batwoon a little later. That's I think that's an audio cue to time that one if I'm not
yeah, you can use audio cues, you can use visual cue, you can use a sort of normalized setup even. It's, there's some variety depending on your taste. No matter what you use, it is definitely pretty precise, but
just pull a Hudson Hawk and start singing a song right when you walk into the room, cue it off. And InNoRush heading up into the attic here.
Yeah, he's going for the left side attic, also a little bit misplaced on his actions here.
This room can be really frustrating because there are a lot of enemies in this room, and all of them have a lot of health, and you have to kill every single one of them before you can get out.
Yeah, like it's really frustrating, especially with that one key hunter. Like, if you like you can hit him in a way that he doesn't take enough damage just from the Shine Spark, which is always pretty dumb when you have to go back for that.
Yeah, Shine Spark does quite a bit of damage as long as you're touching the enemy, but as we'll see on Dragon later, if you're too far away from the enemy when you start, because you're constantly accelerating, you can actually just not spend enough frames in the enemy to deal enough damage to kill it.
Yeah. InNoRush now hitting the bowling cutscene as Sephi is about to enter Meridian.
Cue the dream sequence from the Big Lebowski here for the bowling alley.
Thank you. Kind of disappointed Sephi didn't go and get Spazer on his second trip here. Oh well.
I guess he's just gonna have a teardrop every time he passes.
Well, word on that. Really good health here for Sephi though. And ammo too, like 2010 at this point is really good. And
yeah,
being above Yeah, and being above 100 energy here with 2 tanks entering Aqueduct is also really, really good. Very good health and ammo management by Sefi here.
Now, is the Batuan E-Tank still a part of the route, or is that one skipped for you?
Yeah, that's the third E-Tank.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
the
it seems
third
like it's the
E-Tank you
least out
get
of
in
the
the
way.
optimal... Yeah, yeah. No extra door transition, just on the way. Kind of optimal if you go for the Dragon Shine Smart kill. Oh, and barely missing that one round.
Almost perfect Batuan, but that was a perfect X Factor there.
And having optimal ammo too. 2 supers are required to not having to farm the box here, so you can just get the energy tank and then immediately set up for full halfy without having to do a little bit of extra farming.
And sinking the morph ball right into that hole with a lot of speed.
Speaking about sinking stuff into things, where the hell is he going?
That's a good question. Wow.
Thank you, Sefi.
The arrogance of this man is astounding.
This just made me very happy.
So if you leave the Batuan fight too soon, if you make it out of there too quickly, it doesn't technically trigger the flag that causes him not to reappear the next time you enter that room.
Yeah. The cue for the death flag being set in this fight is the music spawn. Is the music like basically the boss music stopping. So yeah, you can. It's actually not super hard to do, but like, holy moly, that's a thing of beauty. Showing us that like he had no reason to go back to that. He wouldn't have needed to do that. He just wanted to show us. That's beautiful. Yeah, he knew. He wanted to show.
Now, what that tells me is that he has made Batuan's death non-canon. So can we expect him to save the animals as well?
I mean, yes, of course, because it's the objectively right thing to do. Oh, beautiful opening here on Fantoon.
Yeah, short charge is really nice. Being able to shine spark through Dragon here in her room when you otherwise wouldn't be able to if you didn't have that trick with the dash button. But the X factor on top of it is just makes it that much faster.
Yeah. Ooh, taking a lot of damage here. Wonder if he's... Ah, there you go, yeah. I was wondering if he'd go for a Shine Spark kill. Might have been a huge risk for chain damage.
And trying for the Spark Soup, but not getting it.
Yeah, wanted... Oh, yeah, let's go for a second attempt there. Then accidentally sparking. InNoRush just fighting with the snake.
Batuan is another one of those that can psych you out. His pattern, they can be learned, but there are a lot of them. It's really hard to keep up with them.
Finishing off charge shots. And there we go. Oh, and he got some excellent super drops from Batuan. 4 supers. Really good. Wouldn't be surprised if he would skip farming too.
And InNoRush picking up that E-Tank. Nice little full energy refill here. 4 tanks on the way to Batuan. You should have no problem finishing her off.
There you go. Ah, bonking the door. Not gonna go for halfy. Nice Cactag alley here by Sefi. Are we gonna see a Plasma Spark? Gamp, yes or no? Quick.
I think so.
Alright, cool. Let's see it. Sefi, we believe.
If he hadn't gone back into
that's looking
Batuan's
good.
room,
So close. Well, it was close. A few frames off. Definitely a good setup though.
InNoRush heading into Dragon now. Hopefully he will have as much luck and skill as Sefi did.
Yeah, so far it's one-on-one on the bosses. InNoRush missing Quake quick kill, but having a way cleaner Fantoon fight than Sefi had. Beautiful Goop Spark there to show domination. That is all RNG minute right there.
Alright, good start.
Yeah. Getting some swoops. But nailing these sparks, however, also nailing the bad RNG. Oh yeah, he's not happy with it.
Man, he is getting these short charges off every time, but that is a lot of swoops.
Wow. This is... So every time Dragon swoops there, he basically loses a coin flip.
Yeah, that's slow.
Yeah. That was a nice spark. Excellent health too. He can definitely go for the blue suit kill without having to worry about chain damage. Oh, there. Oh, man, come on. Just...
There she goes.
Give the man a break. There we go. Yeah.
Well
and getting
done.
the blue suit too. Sephi now onto the second North visit. Gonna be heading straight to Ridley.
Now, of the two speed boost keep glitches, I always forget specifically which buttons you can and can't press when you have each one.
With blue suit you cannot hold dash unless you are suitless.
Okay. So he can jump, he can do pretty much anything he wants. Now, if he presses down, does that then get rid of it?
No, he just needs to press down to activate the spark, like that.
Beautiful.
And beautiful reverse full halfy. Now with Spark Suit, it's the thing that you cannot do any motions that would activate a spark if you had one charged.
Ah, okay. Damage boosting is another thing you see a lot of with these higher end runners. You know, obviously it takes damage, which is a commodity for speedrunning, but just the little things like hopping in the ice room there. I think that was what do they call those? Nova?
I'm pretty sure if Sephi would have continued, he would have gotten the ice escape with only space jam. Also, yeah, it's Nova. It is Nova. Not Sova. If anyone tells you it's Sova, that's just wrong.
It doesn't even sound right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It sounds disgusting. Well, we are in commentary, so we are obviously right. Oh, nice.
You people saying Sova, we can't hear you, so you don't count.
Yeah, right? That's how democracy works, I think. Sephi with a very nice chronic boost.
Sephi going down into the tail end of the run here, lower Norfair. InNoRush not far behind.
Oh, going for the doorless fast pillars and getting it.
Another difficult trick to pull off.
Oh yeah, that's a tight short charge. Not the tightest, but that one takes ages to learn. Just because of the door transition.
Even though it's the worst room in the game, this is one of my favorite rooms in the game, simply because of that little alley-oop over that last space pirate at the end is just so smooth.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty smooth.
When you pull it off, at least. Somebody does.
Yeah, well, somebody obviously didn't read the script I sent him. InNoRush is entering Norfair. Gonna see if he also goes for the bottom ice escape, or if he's gonna do the Frog Speedway route.
Those key hunters, especially on the way out of Ridley, can really cause a lot of damage quickly if you let them.
Mm. That's really one of the huge upsides of Old Route, is the fact that you have Plasma Beam here. So you can just clip through all these enemies just by shooting plasma at them as you run through them.
Absolutely.
In Old Route, this is in New Route, this is a lot more nifty, because you have no way to just clip through the enemies, you actually have to dodge them.
Another nice thing about the randomizer is that hopefully you have screw attack by then and you can just kill him right away.
Yeah. I mean, there are still so many percent runners that just get screw attack as a safety item. In fact, my first Grandmaster that taught me got like a 57 with screw attack and like 20 supers, 6 E-tanks, so Like, you can get
Wow.
really far even with, like, a lot of safeties. That's one of the beautiful things about this game. Just get what you need and you can get really good with it.
It is one of the best safety items because it basically makes moving through each room never become a problem again. Sephi here getting picked up here at the beginning of the fight, not realizing he hadn't done quite enough damage to Ridley yet.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a color change yet, he might notice that he might not be dead yet. Oh, and blocking the shots with his tail there. Beautiful.
And InNoRush opting for the energy refill there. Coming across this tricky room.
Ah, Sephi doing a spin jump there. If you really don't want to do a spin jump while Ridley is there, because that will just initiate another pattern and will interrupt the pickup phase, but Sephi's out now. Good drops, 163 is a decent amount. Doesn't opt for the extra E-tank here. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's another one that's, again, not very far out of the way. If you feel like you need it, it doesn't lose a lot of time at all to run in and grab it. But, you know, for a lot of runners, Sephi is one of them. You just don't always need that fourth tank.
Yep.
Yeah, InNoRush coming into pillars with only 2 power bombs.
Yeah, he definitely wants to get fast pillars here. Oh, and Sephi with the Wasteland Speedball. That's a sweet strat, but pretty hard to pull off. And InNoRush gets fast pillars, very nice.
Very nice.
Will still have to watch out, but at least he doesn't need to do like any extra farming. Oh, Sephi!
Oh, Sephi.
Oh! Alright,
Just
playing
a
it
reminder,
safe.
Sephi has not taken any safety saves.
Oh no. And not getting... Oh yeah, that's the beautiful thing. You are at critical... Like, you're at critical health, like you get all the beeping sounds, but at exactly 30 you don't get health bombed by by enemies yet.
Yeah, at 29 health, you're guaranteed to get health drops.
But at 30 you're just like, oh well, I have the beeping now, but like... Oh well, can't do anything about it. Still needs to be careful here. We still have an acid room and Key Hunter is coming up.
Rush successfully just skipping right past all 3 of those like a champ.
Yeah. Sephi in the meanwhile playing it way more safe, just killing them. Again, these things deal 50 damage, so yeah, just nice to play it safe there. And InNoRush is taking his time. Really nice jump mock ball setup there. I like that a lot. You might say he's InNoRush. Sorry, I had to make that joke at some point in this commentary.
All right, that's your 1.
All right, yeah. No, I'm not gonna make any more. I promise. Don't worry.
Apparently, you didn't get the memo.
I wrote the memo. That's the thing. Also, Elm isn't playing, so that joke doesn't count. Alright, InNoRush now on to Ridley. We'll hopefully see a clean 20 charge shots and a beautiful death grab.
And good RNG on the ledge there. There are, I guess, some things you can do in terms of jumping to try to get Ridley to stay on the edge of that slot as long as possible. So you can just shoot up into him, but either way, a tough fight.
Wow.
Wow.
Instant explosion.
Going for the true kill.
Yeah, that's the canon way to kill Ridley right there. Ah, there you go, yeah. InNoRush is going for the nice 5-tank setup. We'll have a really nice time getting out of Lone Warfare here, and we'll also have a really nice time in Tyrion. Whereas Sephi will still have to watch out in Tyrion, especially since he's probably going to go for Baby Skip. Might be a little bit of clutch at Mother Brain.
Yeah, getting through those Metroids without taking damage is really tough. Obviously, some of the easier strats involve just taking damage anyway and grouping them up. Sephi with a nice string of kills there, firing the plasma beam through the enemies to get the ones below him.
Very nice speed maul by InNoRush.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
And in the meanwhile, Sephi can check his Tinder. Sephi, if you hear this, I sent you a message, please respond.
Swipe right. Wow, Sephi, tone it down.
This is a family-friendly stream, please. What are these emotes in chat? I don't know half of them. Huh.
I'm not gonna ask about that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. InNoRush was really clean. No Warfare escape. Sephi, you're going for a grouping strat for Metroid Dream 1. Has perfect ammo.
Good drops.
Holy moly.
InNoRush coming through Bubble Mountain. For me, at least, coming back through this room for the last time was always sort of the big go mode flag. Like, all right, tough stuff's over. Now we just got to clean up.
Tough stuff's over. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. Sephi taking double side hopper damage there. At 339 now. Given he is going to go for Baby Skip probably and not going to refill. If he gets it, he has to play it really careful in the Mother Brain room.
Yeah, with 39 health, there's not much that you can get hit by that won't drop you below 300. Being the magic number, the reason that most runners only get 3 tanks, she'll do 300 damage to you regardless. And Sephi just barely missing Baby Skip here. Gonna have to get that energy refill.
Yeah, and honestly, that might not be a bad thing. Getting this extra energy for the Mother Brain fight.
That extra 60 health is going to be huge.
Yep.
InNoRush.
And, alright, yeah. Freezing the fish. Not killing it.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I feel concerned, but I'm not angry, so that's okay. Sephi with the second last move fall off the game. Oh, and Sephi going for the speed booster Zepska.
And
slower, but way more cool. Yeah, and there we go. Already losing like 20 health here, just on acid. Just really, really easy to lose this health.
Yeah, acid is not something you want to mess around with.
Mm.
well-timed jump there by InNoRush, clearing out these last few rooms before Turian pretty quickly and smoothly here.
When he faces left, it's Sephi's. When he faces right, it's mine. Alright, InNoRush now at G4.
Full Mother Brain menu here. We got the meatballs.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, taking some damage here.
Yeah, like if Sephi would have gotten that baby skip and not refilled, this would have been the death sentence.
Yep.
But really, I mean, in that case, really blessing that he didn't get it. But he's in the clear now.
Yeah, so she's forced to do at least 300 damage to you. If you have less than 300 after that, I believe she goes ahead and does the final sequence here. So if you've got more than that, you are going to want to run into her leg to get some damage down.
Yeah. Actually, unless you're beef robber, then you only need 299 for some reason.
That's it.
Doesn't change anything, you still need 3 tanks, but, you know. Alright, InNoRush now coming up on the Metroid rooms.
And
Health
he is
looking
going to
really
be
good. Yeah.
really good on ammo here going in, I think.
Oh yeah, those drops are pretty nice too. Dang, that Metroid was up for blood.
Let's see those baby thumps in chat.
Yeah. Oh heck, we don't even have baby fun. Oh, that's something that needs to be changed.
And the swag moonwalk. Sephi bringing the disco to Planet Zebes.
InNoRush facing the right. Saving 40 frames. That is an interesting Leo room. And the last moonfall off the game. There we go.
Yeah, anytime you can take advantage of a nice long fall like that, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Which side spark are we going to see here?
I'm gonna go for Behemoth Spark. Left side Behemoth.
Oh!
Nice. I like that.
Septi opting to not save the animals. What a terrible human being.
I absolutely agree. But yeah, Sephi is done. I cannot tell you the race time because Sephi never got done to an SRL, but well, we know for a fact that Sephi is done. So GG.
GG to Sephi and InNoRush, not far at all behind.
Oh yeah, just starting on the Mother Brain 2 fight.
Sephi, if you don't done, stay hydrated, bot is gonna haunt you.
There we go. Oh man, I feel so good controlling this. Actually, remember the audio switch this time. What the? I'm so confused right now. So Sephi just forfeited on SRL? Now he's unforfeited. And now he's done. Alright, okay, so Sephi is now actually done with an official SRL race time of 15 minutes and 11 seconds. GG.
Either that was the worst accident, or that was the ultimate in BM.
Yeah. InNoRush is already like... I don't know. Way to win, Sephi. Just crushing InNoRush streams right there. That's really fair play, dude. I give that a 3 out of 10.
Getting to see the credits here while we watch InNoRush coming up on the last phase of Mother Brain.
Just gotta give InNoRush a shout out here for a damageless Mother Brain room.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Alright, there we go.
And it's all over but the escape.
And I think while we're on the escape, I'm going to use the opportunity to tell you to follow these runners. Both excellent people that I both love and respect a lot. Sephi here on the left, I don't think I need to talk a lot about. Has made his name. I think about everyone knows him by now. And InNoRush here is just also just such an awesome dude. If you're into music and Drunken Super Metroid streams, this is literally the one go-to stream for you right there. And besides that, he also does some really cool early morning weekend streams and has some cats, so that's always worth to check out.
Yeah, both very good SM runners, both very entertaining Twitch streamers. Make sure you give these guys a follow, show them some love. Coming up on the Spark here.
I'm gonna go with the classic right side straight Spark for this. Yeah, there we go.
Beautiful.
Are you sure that's what he eats, Effie? Isn't there a certain bet? Oh, there we go. I was definitely hoping to see that. InNoRush, my man, doing the objectively right call here and saving the animals.
Masterfully done.
That warms my heart with pleasure. And InNoRush is done, finishing second place with an official SRL race time of 53 minutes and 36 seconds. Mere 3 minutes behind Sephi, according to SRL. And I heard someone joining. There we go, Sephi.
I was muted this entire time. I thought I was doing commentary.
Dang.
GG to InNoRush. Everyone, make sure to unfollow me and follow InNoRush instead. He is the best. He really is. I love that guy.
Word on that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not lying. Like, I always wanted to race InNoRush. Finally got the chance. I would get jealous when I saw. You raced him, didn't you, Punk?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Fuza raced him as well. I remember that, and I was just waiting for my turn. But yeah, unfollow me and follow him.
Nah, but seriously, I was not lying when I said like when I saw the groups, this is the one match I was really looking forward to. Like both of you, such awesome people in this race, doing just a classic ultra 80% race was an absolute pleasure to watch. You definitely both did great. You both had your moments to RNG that went really, really downhill, but it was just a pleasure to watch, really.
Yeah, I think I lost an entire minute to Fantoon.
Yeah, how did you feel about that Fantoon fight?
Flawless. Textbook.
All right, cool. That's fair.
No, that was something else. I don't know. That pattern always messes me up. I always panic when I'm trying to set that up, especially when you have two flames that could potentially flame lane you. Really can't wait to watch this back though, because I know you and Gam. What's up, Gam? By the way, I met Gambrinus, and he's a really cool dude. Met him at SGDQ too.
Had a great time.
You guys are a power combo, power couple. I love you guys.
I can't wait to watch all of you, to meet all of you. Yeah, I mean, shoutouts to you for doing the Nintendo Power strats of fighting Fantoon with supers. Glad you were doing some Nintendo Power action. That was great.
I also appreciate you retconning Batoon's death out of.
Oh yeah, I absolutely loved that.
Yeah, I heard that I left the room too quickly. That's pretty much what signals you that Batoon's gonna respawn. I
mean, it's one thing getting the Batoon respawn, but like going back, like you had no reason to ever go back into that room. Just showing us that was just a masterpiece. Definitely much appreciated.
It was just a fun little demonstration.
Oh, that's what happens when you go fast. You just respawn some bosses.
You right.
And get your Deer Forces ready for round 2 here.
I'll just spam some Shack tools instead. Seems appropriate. There we go. Ah, thank you, InNoRush. So yeah, if you like cats and like an awesome gentleman like that, there you go. Follow this guy right now. And follow Sophie.
Right now.
Yeah, right meow even.
So adorable. That love InNoRush.
Okay, oh man, that is pure love if I've ever seen one.
InNoRush is a Calico streamer.
All right, with that being said, we're gonna give over to another 3 hours of cat stream here on Speed Gaming 4. So yeah, if you enjoy some cat streams, just stay here, right there. We're gonna get some cat purring sound effects in just a second, and then we're set for the night.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for the commentary. Shout out to InNoRush. I can give him a follow. Thank you for the race, man.
Hey, GG. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for the interview. And yeah, Gam, was a pleasure to commentate with you, as always.
Yeah, I hope we get to do more. I'm looking forward to the rest of this tournament. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys have a good night. I'll enjoy the sunrise now. And yeah, see you guys later.
Cheers.